thanks, Diana, I'm recording now, who actually is a business partner of hers, which is so cool that you actually do this. And he, with him, and he is full-time, a full-time coach, which is pretty amazing that you're in this together, because it really is so hard to do this without the support of our significant other. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's tough. So we're so happy to have you speak today, and just to hear from someone outside of our team is always a pleasure, because it's amazing what a different perspective someone else can have and what they can bring to a group of us. So I'm going to let you take it away, share whatever else you would like about yourself too. We'll eat it up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for having me on your call. I am super excited to be talking to you guys. I think one thing that I loved about having Jen on our call is that I think we have different personalities, and I think it's really important for everyone on different teams to just hear from different leaders who kind of lead differently, who speak differently, different energies. And I just think that's really important. I want to preface it by saying I hope that you guys will have questions for me. I am an open book, so please ask questions in the message box and I will answer them at the end. I'll take all questions at the end, or if you want to, come out and just say and ask me a question, I would really appreciate it. No question is ever stupid. And I will answer any and all questions related to what I talk about, or also related to just anything of what we do in our business. I'm happy to kind of stay for as long as needed to answer any types of questions. So to just start, like I usually start with my team, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on right now. I know that this is family time for a lot of you. This is dinner time for a lot of you. This is maybe just getting home from a hectic day. So just taking this time for your business is super important. And I want to thank you. And I know that Jen and I both appreciate, you coming on and taking this time. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. And so give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and start. So what I'm going to talk to you guys today about is mindset. I think your mindset, success lies within your mindset, and it is super important that you have the proper mindset to grow your business. So I'm first going to talk a little bit about me, share a little bit of my background. So I have this collage here, and I have a quote, which is the starting point of all achievement is desire. So right there in the middle is me in July of 2013, when I actually started as a coach. I was smack in the middle of my residency. For those of you who do not know, residency is a crazy, hectic schedule. I was working about 60 to 70 hours a week, and I was tired of not having any of my clothes fit me anymore. I wear scrubs to go to work. I do not, I don't dress up to go to work. So I wear sneakers and I wear scrubs. And that could be something that is just incredibly forgiving when it comes to when you gain weight, until you go on to put on your jeans, which I had a whole closet full of really great jeans and nothing fit me. And I remember just feeling so awful. And I don't know if any of you guys can remember, can feel, when you put on a pair of pants and they're really tight and you're like, ooh, I don't want to go out. Like nothing feels good. And all of a sudden, just like your whole, that was me. Always going for a walk, working out for an hour at a time. Even though I didn't have the time, I always made the time for my fitness, because to me, it was such a big stress reliever. To me, it's like my natural antidepressant, is what I tell a lot of people, because it's so important to get your body moving, especially when you have a stressful job like I do. And so I knew that I needed to change certain things. And so I had come across at-home workout programs back when I was like in high school. I used to do the Firm, which I don't know if some of you guys have ever heard of that, but I used to do the Firm. I used to do Walk Away with the Pounds. I used to do all these workout programs. And so when I thought about what I needed, I was like, you know what, let me do a home workout program, because that's going to be most convenient for me. I was working days, evenings, overnights, sometimes all in the same week. And so when you and at the time, T25 had just come out. And it was, only 25 minutes. And I had heard about Shakeology through trying Insanity in the past. And I was like, you know what? Let me try this out. Let me commit to this. Let me just see, and if this works out, then I will continue using it. And it just so happens that I had a coach, someone who I didn't know. And so I'm going to use this as a good lesson. Someone who I didn't know, who had seen that I had started posting about nutrition. I had posted some inspirational quotes. And so she literally approached me randomly and was like, hey, Stephanie, I'm not sure if this may interest you, but have you ever considered becoming a Beachbody coach? So so mind you, I had been sitting there thinking about becoming a coach more so because of the discount. And so when this girl all of a sudden asked me if I wanted to become a coach, I thought it was like God talking to me. And so for some of you who kind of, you get nervous asking people or just kind of planting the seed, think of me who's like sitting there thinking about it and is just looking for that second person to just confirm that they should become a coach, because that's what happened to me. She literally was like, you should become a coach. And I was like, great, where do I sign up? It was like exactly what I needed to hear. And I was that coach that took off. I took off running when I became a coach. And so I also have two pictures here because I've always battled with my weight. I have this picture of me when I was in grade school, always up and down battling my weight. And then when it comes to just, having a desire for something, I wanted to put my graduation picture for medical. Any type of goal starts first with desire. And you need to make sure that that desire is there. And we'll talk about that later on so that you can reach, the success that you want in your life. So this collage, I think I put this together to really kind of commemorate kind of my coaching business. And so at the top is Luke. Luke, like Jen was saying, he is a full-time coach with me. And he actually came on board with me right when I started. He was my first coach. He was that like, hey babe, can you give me your social security number so I can make you a coach? And he was like my first coach that I just, automatically signed up. He was someone who really battled with not high blood pressure. He was borderline high blood pressure. And I remember I didn't want him to go on medications. And I said, you know what, let's do this program together and let's change your diet. And we completed the program. And within 8 weeks, he had dropped his blood pressure, 20 points. And to me, I was like, absolutely, this works, because it was fitness and nutrition, but it just confirmed for me that these programs in 30 minutes or less could really change someone's health and change their fitness level. And so he signed up with me as a coach, and he's been my business partner, pretty much since the beginning. Obviously in the beginning, he didn't work as much as I do, but now we grow our team together. In the bottom is my before and after with T25. I absolutely loved T25. I actually love 22-minute hardcore now. I'm that girl who wants a quick workout and I want to get it in and I want to get it done. And so, for me, it worked for me. And when I first started, even as a brand new coach without any results, I've always been very transparent with my journey, and I always shared my story. I always shared when I was working out. I always shared my struggles. And I think that speaks to a lot of the success that I've had as a coach. In the bottom left, I have two girls from my team who I love, so dearly. And I put them there to show you that I didn't grow my team locally. I grew my team completely on social media. And the majority of my team are people that I never knew before Beachbody. They came to me through Instagram or they came to me through Facebook. And it's not that I understood social media. I had no background in this, but I learned as I learned on the go, and I allowed myself to fail forward, which we'll talk about later as well. And I have two pictures here on the top. I have me on the Great Wall of China, and I have a picture that I took in the Serengeti in Africa. And the reason why I have these two pictures here is because someone like me that has a great profession as a physician, why would I come into this business? Why would I consider network marketing? Why would I consider a home business? And for me, it's always been freedom of time, freedom to be able to travel anywhere and be able to work from anywhere. And so for me, when I went on an around the world trip last summer, and I went to China, and I went to Japan, and I went to Africa, and I went to Turkey, guess what? At the end of every day, I was able to go home, and I was able to go to my hotel, and I was able to work my business. To me, for someone like me, that is phenomenal, and that is why I continue to build this business. Because being an emergency medicine physician, I cannot do that. I cannot make money. You know, I have to go into an ER in order to make my money. However, with our business, the beauty of network marketing is that you can do it from anywhere. You really can do it from anywhere as long as you have internet. And that to me was incredibly appealing. And then at the bottom right is me smiling because honestly, guys, when I graduated medical school, I kind of was like, now what do I do? And I had wanted to be a physician since I was a child. And I didn't know what I was passionate about. I didn't know what I was supposed to do next. I'm always driven by a challenge. I grow more through challenges. And when I accomplished my childhood dream of being a doctor, I was like, what is next? And it wasn't until I found Beachbody and I started coaching that all of a sudden I had this fire that was lit from inside of me. All of a sudden I had this energy that I didn't have. And I let that energy and I let that excitement keep me going in the beginning when I didn't have the time. I was like, there's something here because I'm really excited and I have this energy that I didn't have before I started as a coach. So let me use this to fuel me when I don't have the time. And so to change your life, you have to change yourself. And to change yourself, you have to change your mindset. So I have a personal mantra, and my personal mantra is life begins one step out of your comfort zone. I am always pushing my coaches to step outside of their comfort zone. And I suggest that all of you have a mantra that you follow. I suggest that you all have a mantra that you write down and you keep it. And I hope that that mantra will push you out of your comfort zone so that when you look at it, you're always working towards living that kind of mantra. That is something that I have done from the very beginning, and it is something that I really have my coaches do, and I really encourage my coaches on my team to do. So in terms of mindset, I'm gonna talk about 4 key things that I think are really important to your mindset. Number 1, you need to leave your ego at the door. So what does that mean? That means, guys, that after 12 years of studying, after 12 years of sacrificing my life to educate myself, I came into this business and I knew that I needed to become a student again. I knew that I didn't know everything that it took to have a successful online business. I knew those things. And so I needed to become a student again. It's the same thing with you. And so when you come into your business and you have leaders like Jen and other leaders in your team that are telling you certain things that you need to do, I would tell you to believe them, to trust them. They're trying to guide you. Leave your ego at the door and allow yourself to be taught new things so that you can excel at this business. You need to be coachable. And like I said, it has a lot to do with leaving your ego, because even if you have a PhD, even if you have a master's, I don't care. I don't care. You don't know what it's like to build a business online. You don't know what it's like to build a business where you're going to get a lot of rejection. You're going to get a lot of no's. You don't know what it's like. So you have to come in willing to learn. I mean, think about that person who, I always give the analogy of an actor who wins a prestigious award as an actor. And then all of a sudden they try to become a singer and then their CD flops, all because they expect on their kind of popularity for their CD to do well, but it doesn't, because they didn't put in the same amount of effort, the same amount of time to learn that craft. And so when I became a coach, I understood that it was going to take a certain amount of time for me to learn and for me to understand what I was doing. Connected to social media. It is, and so if I want to influence more people, if I want to help more people, I need to move with the times, and the times are in social media. And so for me, I knew when I started as a coach what my intentions were. And so I wasn't afraid to be transparent. You have to understand that you are going to attract people like you. But if you don't share who you are, you don't share your struggles, you don't share your past, you're never going to attract the people who are meant to be attracted to you. And one thing that I also always share with coaches that I think is incredibly humbling is that you will never attract someone that's better than you. And so that's incredibly humbling, because if you want to attract a go-getter who's going to be consistent, who's going to go for this business and who's going to build their business and who's going to stay and who's going to be there all in, you need to have those qualities as well. And so if you're sharing as you start sharing those qualities, you're going to start attracting those qualities. And that's where the idea of fake it till you make it, you fake your confidence until you make it, until you actually believe it, or you fake the potential of your success until you actually are that success. Because when you're doing that and you're pouring that into the universe, you're going to attract more people like that who want that same type of success and who have those qualities that you're trying to achieve yourself. Number 2 is you need to do your reps. So this is incredibly important. It takes 10,000 reps before you master something. 10,000 reps. So this talks a little bit about, like I said, the actor who wanted to become a singer, and understanding that for us, it's the hard, unglamorous work behind the scenes that we need to be doing. It's the unseen steadfastness. And for us, that is our 4 vital behaviors. And I wrote here every single day because, guys, you need to do this every single day. And I say this with all the love in my heart, with all that you need to be present every single day. I've been building this business for almost 36 months, and I have never, ever missed a day. No matter if someone died, no matter if I had a test, no matter if someone was sick, no matter if I was sick. I never missed a day of showing up to my business. This is not anyone else's business, but your business. And so if you don't show up to your store, if you don't show up to your storefront, which is social media, which is your Facebook page, you're not going to be building this the way that you should. And so you have to do these things every single day and realize that it takes time to build momentum, especially depending on when you started, especially if you started and you didn't know a lot of people, it's going to take time for you to build your market. And that may mean months, weeks, months of posting consistently and feeling like no one is liking your post, no one is buying anything. But realize that if you stick with it, if you put in your reps, you're going to see the success that you need to see, but you need to stay consistent. You can't all of a sudden get off social media for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then expect to come back. Or God forbid, you get off for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You are having people trust you. When you all of a sudden get off your page and you don't show up, you're breaking that trust with people. And then you want to come back and then you wonder why you can't hit Success Club, or you wonder why people are not liking you. It's because you're not consistent. You're not staying consistent. So you need to show up every single day. And then the idea of delayed gratification. That's one thing when people ask me, do I ever regret going to medical school? Hell no, I don't regret going to medical school. It taught me the concept of delayed gratification. I spent 12 years of my life going into debt, $300,000 in debt, to, working towards a goal that was never guaranteed to me. I have people who went through medical school, went through residency, didn't finish, accumulated that debt, and they didn't finish. So it was never guaranteed. I only achieved it because I worked towards it every single day. And I knew that I needed to put in my hard work. I needed to put in my time in order to be successful. And that concept, I took that same concept with building a business. And I don't think that's something that's, I think all businesses are that way. It takes time to grow. And you have to realize that it's going to take a lot of hard work in the beginning for you to have that payoff in the end. But it does pay off if you believe in yourself and you stay consistent. You need to have discipline. So I wrote down the definition of discipline. It's the ability to control one's impulses, emotions, desires, and behavior. It is being able to turn down immediate pleasure and instant gratification in favor of gaining the long-term satisfaction and fulfillment from achieving higher and more meaningful goals. To possess it is to be able to make the decisions, take the actions, and execute your game plan regardless of the obstacles, discomfort, or difficulties that may come your way. You have to have discipline. The same way that you have discipline in your workouts, the same way that you have discipline in your careers to get your job done at work, you need to have the same amount of discipline in your business. Again, Jen's not going to build your business for you. Your sponsor is not going to build your business for you. You have to build your business for yourself. We provide you tools. We lead the way. We show you by our own discipline. But at the end of the day, we can't work the business for you. So, this thing just, one second. Okay, sorry.
If we get kicked off, can you just re-click in? Is
Sure.
that cool?
Yeah.
Everyone, so just click the link again and we can restart.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so are you led, and so question, so in terms of discipline, are you led by fear, or are you led, are you led by your why and your work? So I use this because a lot of people, we go to work because we have to go to work. If we don't show up, it's like, you're going to lose your job. And it's, and so kind of thinking about that. And so, but with us in our business, we have to be led by our why. And I know for me, I'd rather be led by something that I'm super passionate about than led by something that's just strictly fear or me afraid of losing something. And so just understanding that, and I know for me, that's one of the reasons why I continue to pursue this, because this is something that I'm definitely passionate about. And then just understanding that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So that leads me to my last part, which is you need to understand your mission and your vision in life. This is incredibly important. One thing that I find separates the successful coaches from the non-successful coaches is that successful coaches have found a way to connect how Beachbody can help them serve a purpose within their life. So how Beachbody can be a stepping stone to maybe allowing you to have more free time to do mission work, or maybe allow you to have more free time to pursue a different passion. Allowing Beachbody to connect you with whatever is going to really truly fuel your heart. Because at the end of the day, we're not asking you to be like super Beachbody advocates and live and breathe Beachbody. We want you to build this business, and we want you to use the financial success from this business to allow you to pursue really what fills your heart, whether it's more time with your children and your grandchildren, or more time serving others, or more time maybe doing another business venture that you really love, whether it's photography or art or music, etc. But understanding that you need to have that connection. And so asking yourself, what speaks to your heart? You are now 90 years old. As you look back on an amazing life, what is it that you've achieved and accomplished? What are all the relationships that you developed, and what matters most to you? And then if you could, and one thing that intrigued me was that if you could get a message out to a large group of people, what would that message be? What would your legacy be? I tell a lot of my new coaches, imagine you had 100,000 people who every day came to your page, every day were waiting to see what you wrote. What would you write? What would you want them to get from your page? What would you want them to take away from your timeline? And then given your talents, passions, and values, how could you use these resources to serve and to help and to contribute to people, beings, causes, etc.? And so for me, as a physician, I'm very driven by the idea of ending obesity, and it just falls in line with what our mission as a company is. So when you look at this, you look at my map here, this was back in 2012, all the red states have greater than 30% of people who are obese. That was back in 2012. So I'm sure all of those orange states are now red and all the yellow states are now orange. And that's a huge problem. And not only that, but childhood obesity. 1/3 of children are considered obese. And that's a big problem. And I know, as many other healthcare professionals know, that combating this and ending this trend is going to take so much more than hospitals and schools and churches and government. It's going to take people at the grassroots. It's going to take people in their communities, inspiring other people, inspiring those like them. And we need more and more people on this mission. However, there's something else that for me speaks a lot to me. And when I know that the statistics are showing that by 2050, 50% of our population is going to be obese. That's a scary statistic. 50% of our population in the United States will be obese. When I think of that, not only do I think of health problems, but I think of depression, I think of anxiety, I think of suicide, I think of people trapped in their minds. And honestly, when I think of depression and I think of anxiety, I think of people who are not fully living out the talents that God has given them. That they're so stuck in depression, which is a disease. They're stuck in the anxiety. They're stuck there and they cannot get out of it. And to me, when I think that 50% of our population by 2050 is going to be obese, I know, because of my work in the ER, I know how tied in it is to depression and anxiety. To me, I see 50% of our population that's relatively unproductive in what they could be accomplishing in their life. And to me, that is extremely scary. And to me, that's something worth fighting for, that I will go to my deathbed fighting for. And so I've found a way to connect Beachbody, because Beachbody, how we help people with our challenge packs, that's the first step. If you're only looking at this business for challenge packs and Shakeology, then you're missing the whole point of this business. This business is not about challenge packs and Shakeology. This business is about changing lives. It's about building people up from the inside out. And all of you know that when a woman starts taking care of herself, that's the first step for self-love. That's the first step that she's making time for herself. And then that's where the real work begins. And especially if you're in this as a coach, the personal development aspect of this is gold. That is the gold of our business, to be able to believe in yourself and to pursue something that, that you're passionate about because you believe in yourself. That a lot of people are not even doing that. So when you're thinking about, oh, I don't want to tell somebody about this opportunity, or I don't want to reach out to somebody, I want you to connect them. I want you to think about all those people out there who are suffering in their mind, who are alone, because trust me, I've talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women over the past 3 years, and people are alone. People are alone. They have no support at home. They're afraid. They are lonely, and they need people like us who want to help them. And so don't be afraid to reach out to people, because there's a need for it. There's a great need for it. And so every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world. So this is a picture from my team, and I love this picture of us because, again, these girls are girls I never met. I would have never met had it not been for Beachbody. And I have girls on here who, when I met them, were suicidal. When I met them, was an alcoholic, and just really girls who were at low points in their lives when they started as a coach. And now they are the most successful coaches on my team, and they're changing their life one day at a time, helping one person at a time so that they can fulfill their passions. One of them is serving the Lord, doing a lot of mission work. Another one is starting out with a second business. Another one is still just trying to just make time so that she can spend more time with her children. So just really, that's what this opportunity can do for people. It can give them a new chance at life, and it can allow them to pursue what's really within their heart. How are we doing on time, Jen? I'm trying to.
2 minutes, but we can pop back in.
Yeah. So I have 2 more slides and then we'll come back in. So the only 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. So guys, I think a lot of coaches quit before they really even start. They quit right when they see all the information and they get overwhelmed. And it's understanding that, yes, this is a business. And yes, there's a lot of information to know. But if you take it one step at a time and you do the vital behaviors every single day, and you realize that you don't need to know everything in the beginning, but you need to do it one step at a time, you will start moving forward and you will learn things. It's like an onion. As you peel one layer, there's more. You build on top of each other. So get out of your own way is my best advice, is to get out of your own way and to just start moving forward and to start, pursuing, this business the way that you want to, so that you can accomplish the goals that you want to in your life. So I think that's the end. That is the end.
All right. Why don't we hop off and then hop right back on?
Okay. Cool? Yep.
Because, wow. Okay. All right. So just click back in, everyone.